Story now, the Police and Prison Civil Rights Union is holding a briefing this morning to address recent developments within the criminal justice cluster. Officials are also expected to cover an apparent strike by officers. eNCA's Janke Tolmay is tracking that story for us. She joins us now. Janke, this past week there were some threats and reports of a possible strike by police officers tomorrow. What are we expecting to hear from PopCrew on this?
Well, we did see those rumours circulating on social media about a possible strike by police officers despite it being an essential service. And we did see then the Police Minister, Janke Tolmay, coming out to brief the media and the country about this possible strike. Firstly, saying that there was no evidence to support the rumours that there would be a strike, but also then saying that he would address the concerns allegedly behind this threatened strike, and that was the long overdue promotions by some of the police officers. The minister coming out to say that some of these promotions have been overdue for more than 5 years, and they have tried to administer as many of these promotions as possible in the current financial year, administering over 30,000, but yet there's still a lot of police officers who allegedly feel like they've been overlooked and treated unfairly, and there's been selective promotions, and that's why they threatened to go on this strike. I did speak to PopCrew quickly this morning, and they said that they weren't, in the past week, did not plan to support any planned strike action by police officers. They didn't give any of their members structures to go on strike, but we will hear from PopCrew later this morning, with the briefing expected to start at 11, about how they feel about these long overdue promotions and these rumours that were going around about this possible strike.
Janke, the unions also said it will touch on some of the revelations coming out of the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into state capture.
Yes, anyone who's been keeping an eye on the Zondo Commission would know that the allegations that came out specifically by the witness, Angela Agrizi, that linked Bosasa to the Department of Correctional Services, quite concerning revelations or claims coming out with the department contracts with Bosasa. And then we saw quite interesting developments around Bosasa in the past couple of weeks. We saw the company going into voluntary liquidation because of its problems with the banks. But then this week we saw them approaching the court, and the court overturning this voluntary liquidation. And then just on Friday we saw that the liquidators said that they intended to appeal this court ruling. So a lot of movement and a bit of unclarity around the future of Bosasa specifically. But what PopCrew has been calling for is they just don't want any jobs to be lost. We did see the union coming out just after the company had gone into voluntary liquidation, calling for all the Bosasa employees working at these correctional services centres to be absorbed by the department. They want insourcing to be going the way forward, because they're saying that there can't be a real oversight over these correctional services centres if it is outsourced to private contractors. So we'll hear what they are thinking at the moment. Like I said, there is a bit of unclarity around Bosasa and its future, but we'll hear from the union where they stand. But we do know that obviously jobs is at the centre of their concerns.
Janke, and finally then, just briefly, there's also the threat of a possible march to the Correctional Services Department.
Yes, I did see a tweet yesterday from the union saying that they've resolved to march to the Department of Correctional Services. This is regarding a range of issues that dates back to last year that the union feels still hasn't been addressed by the department. There's a number of things, including payments and uniforms, but it seems the main thing is about the overcrowding and understaffing at these correctional services centres, and the concerns around the safety of the workers there at prison, saying that they're completely outnumbered, and this needs to be addressed. So we will hear some details around this planned march and why they are exactly planning this march. What are their concerns?
That was our reporter Janke Tolmay. She's keeping an eye on that PopCrew briefing. We'll bring you more details once that happens.